Yeah, so I was looking at rents around Gainesville just out of curiosity, because we haven't been in a rent game in years. But I saw one house, I think it was like 1,200 square feet, something like that, and they wanted $2,400 a month. And I'm like, how can these people live? I mean, if people can afford to get a tiny house and move here, they'd have it made.
About $600 a month you have your site. That includes your Wi-Fi, your water, your sewer. It wouldn't include your electric. Your electric is billed by how much you use. In a tiny house, it's a good thing. You use very little.
Yeah.
Only about $40, $50 a month, and you can keep it real nice and cool.
Wow.
Land ownership is nice, but it's often overrated. I'm a real estate agent, and I believe in real estate as well. I do, but sometimes for a single person, until they buy a piece of land, put a well on it, put a septic on it, put a lot of these things on it, then have to pay taxes on it every year, maintain it. You know, it costs them way more than what it would cost to just pay a site.
Yeah.
In a community like this, where you have all of your utilities, your well, you know, you're not going to get a $10,000 bill because your well went bad, or you know, something. You don't got to pay real estate taxes at the end of the year if you're just
I got a friend up in Jersey. He says his mom, I'm not sure what part of Jersey he lives in, his mom pays like $12,000 a year in taxes. $1,000 a month. That is crazy.
Yep. For a normal house in Orlando, let's call it a $400,000 house, you're going to spend in real estate tax. This isn't anything fancy. This is like a 3-4 bedroom house a family would live in, $400,000, probably about $7,000 a year in taxes, $7,000 a year. And that's Orlando. It's not like a big mansion or anything, you know, just a house.
Yeah.
You know, that's $500 a month just in real estate taxes. That doesn't give you water, that doesn't give you sewer, that doesn't give you electric, that doesn't give you Wi-Fi, that doesn't give you gas, nothing.
Wow.
You know?
So that's why you speak so well, because you're a real estate agent.
As well.
Yeah, that's cool.
While we're talking about me, I actually spent, I'm originally from Pennsylvania. I grew up in a pizza shop, an Italian family. I enjoyed it. Yeah, you can see it in the nose. And and I decided I wanted to live in Florida when I was about 16, 17 years old. I went to college in Miami. I really enjoyed Miami. It was very expensive, too expensive. This was before the crisis of 2008, 2009. Miami was as expensive or more expensive real estate wise than it is today.
Wow.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense, but it was, you know, stuff was just out of hand. And I decided that everything in Miami, the lifestyle, the living costs were too expensive, and I went to Brazil. I lived in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil for 10 years. Wow. I did real estate while I was there. I did beachfront real estate. I would buy and sell properties. I would buy properties, fix them up, and sell them to Americans and Europeans. I met my wife there. My daughter was born there. We decided that it's not so safe there, and we moved back to Florida. So we live here now. But when I lived in Brazil, I saw a lot of things. They're in a lot of ways, Brazil is 30, 40 years behind the United States. And then again, they're ahead of us as well in a lot of ways. You know, the Americans, we think we need these big houses, McMansions we call them. You know, we need these big beds, these big meals, big everything. And, you know, as you go to other parts of the world, you start to see that maybe that's not the best way or the only way. You start opening your eyes to see that we can live much smaller, much simpler, much more efficient.
I think stress-free.
Stress-free. You know, you can save a lot of money by living in one of these.
Yeah.
By saving money, you can work less. That gives you more time to enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
You can save some money to reinvest rather than constantly working. Like you said, you know, $2,000-$3,000 a month is the norm for rent. That's $100 a day you got to work.
Yeah.
Make $100 a day just to pay your rent.
Yeah.
That didn't pay your gas to get there, didn't pay your car, didn't maintain your car, didn't put food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner in you and the family's stomachs. Nothing.
Yeah.
So America could have some big problems. We really could.
Yeah.
And I think by simplifying, by minimalizing, by going simpler, reducing, you know, reusing, a lot of these things that a lot of the Americans just aren't doing yet. we have a lot better chances.
Oh yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Um,
Do you ever go onto maybe YouTube or something and see all the homeless people? They got one guy who shoots Kensington. I think it's Pennsylvania. I don't know, but it's crazy.
they say Gainesville has like a big tent city.
Yeah, they do.
Mm.
I think America is going to go through a lot of changes. I do think living tiny, living simpler, you know, you definitely have some more options, possibilities. You know, sometimes you got to think outside the box.
Yeah.
You can't just keep thinking the American way, that you need to have a house, the white picket fence,
Right.
the this, the that. And I see it in here all the time. I've seen people come in here with very little, in very small homes, and they're very happy
Yeah.
because they don't have that. They don't have to make the $100 a day just to pay the rent.
Yeah.
You know, if they make $300 a week on a part-time job, they're good.
Mm-hmm.
That we have people that live here on disability, $800 a month, they can pay their rent
Wow.
and still get by.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say they're living a luxury life. I'm not going to, you know, but they have a place, a roof over their head. They're not homeless. They have a place to receive their mail, to receive friends. They have other friends here.
Yeah.
Clubhouse. You know, so.
I can see this. This is like a tight community. Nice.
It is.
But here you can have black picket fences.
There you go. This is the colors I was talking about earlier. We painted everything brown,
Yeah, much into the.
black trim, and it just sort of blends in a lot more with the nature and
Mhm.
you know.
How nice.
They-
They bolted down too.
Yeah, they spent a little bit of time here. You know, the people that were living here and did more than most of the people would be willing to do. But it's a real special spot back here in the woods. You know,
Is that a koi pond?
there is a fish in there. There's a little pump and filter in there.
Look at that.
Yeah, I see a little fish.
Oh yeah,
Does somebody feed them?
Yep.
Oh, neat.
nice.
Well, there's a bunch of little fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, one big and
Yep, they're happy.
barbecue
the-
picnic table.
Yeah, little picnic table and a grill. It's a big happy family here. Everyone gets along. It's enjoyable. The people really enjoy it. I get a lot of thank yous, a lot of, you know,
I
I
bet.
get a lot of thank yous from the same people almost weekly.
Oh, that's
They're just very grateful.
neat. That song.
Yeah, we run into the clubhouse. As I mentioned, we have coffee in the morning. That's why it's called the Pothead Cafe.
I like it.
Yeah.
So, you know, fun play on words. We have coffee. We do coffee the right way. We actually buy bottled water. I don't like well water myself for stuff, and I'm not going to pass it on to other people if I don't want it for myself.
Sure.
So we buy bottled water for that. We make fresh coffee every morning. About 6:30, it automatically perks.
Oh, wow. I
They
think
have-
this table is really cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
I don't have a light. The battery's dead, but there's actually a light in the middle and a mirror, and when it's working, it's
Vending
really
table.
Yeah, it looks like it never ends.
You guys
like
got
there's a hole
vending
in the middle.
machines?
We have vending machines. Something small, but it's a
Snack.
big deal when you're living in a camper or a tiny house. Is the washers and dryers. Over the past year, I know it's very simple. It's not a fancy clubhouse by any means, but we added the live edge bar.
Oh, I like this.
We added the windows, the French doors, added some more glass.
Get it closer,
Carol.
I like it.
So, you know, it's simple, but we're proud of it, you know? We have a suggestion box if people have a suggestion that they don't want to come to us personally, but they want to give us a suggestion without sort of staying anonymous, they can just throw a suggestion in there. It works really well. But yeah, we have an AC. It's off right now. Everything's on a timer in the clubhouse. Otherwise, people turn the stuff on, walk away, and leave it on.
Oh yeah.
But
Hey, can you get a piece of paper and make a suggestion? Go across track.
Monday mornings, another small thing, but the people all love it. Monday mornings when I arrive, I bring donuts.
Oh, that's cool.
And they're really good donuts. I mean, I've the same thing. If I'm going to have a good donut for myself, I got to... Right there's the bus I was telling you about. There's a perfect example. That's Gus coming back from the gym on a Tuesday.
That's
Coming back from the gym and you got a ride. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's a free ride from the gym.
wow.
We have a barbecue pit set up back there in that corner where the van is. This is some of our storage stuff. We have a couple fishing boats out back here, a couple RVs in storage. We have a couple more of the tiny cabins that I was mentioning.
Oh yeah.
Bunch of happy people, you know, affordable living at its best. And everyone has space, everyone has nature, everyone gets a view. We stagger the RVs instead of side by side, we put them on angles and they get a little bit of a view from every site.
Oh, neat. I mean, that's really cool.
We have a dog park down at the end. That's
Okay.
actually, people use it. We didn't have it for years, and then,
The one with the fence?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So people go down there with their pets. We have a lot of small dogs in the community, and people really like their pets, you know. So it's important that they need a place
this area
to put
here,
dogs up.
this is kind of like a park right here.
It is, and that's actually the feel you get here. That you're like out within nature, out in a park. Here at the park, we are going to try to expand the park. I don't know how far we're going to get. Meaning, it all depends on the county and approvals, but. If we were to do a future expansion, this would turn into some more RV sites here,
Okay.
some more RV sites on the other side. Not crazy amounts of RV sites, because we want to keep the trees, we want to keep the shade, the nature, the space, but we want to grow as well, you know.
Oh, sure.
Over time, as I mentioned, the real way we want to go is to a tiny home community, but we're not going to close down the park to the RVs
Sure.
if we don't have the tiny homes. So.
Right.
The idea is keep our long-term RVs and slowly replace them with the tiny homes. But if we could bring 10 or 15 in next year, that would be great too. You know, there's not a, you know, I know we could create 20 sites quickly